This one's unbelievable. Megan McArdle. She writes now for who? For the Daily Beast? Is that what it is?
Yes.
She had a piece in the wake, and it's amazing. And apparently, the NRA has announced, right, that they're going to release a statement. NRA said they're going to release a statement today or tomorrow. They're going to go to Washington to be a partner in trying to figure out how to lessen gun violence in this country.
And the best time to have one of these conferences is the Friday before Christmas.
Well, no, the point about the NRA coming into saying that we're now willing to be a partner and sit down and try and decrease gun violence is because they want to pretend that they're an actual player in this. Guess what? We don't need them to partner with anybody. They had a horrible record in terms of investing in candidates this past election. They simply, they're not going to stop their emails blast to raise money for their own organization from their sucker members who think that the 40% of their members who don't want any more sensible gun laws, and the other, God knows how many percent think that Obama's coming to steal their guns from them, so they got to go out and buy more. So the NRA just wants to make them sound like they're an important player in this. No, we don't need the NRA to have sensible gun laws in this country. They're not going to really do anything anyways. Until they say we are categorically going to stop sending out emails, driving paranoia, prepper paranoia amongst the people on our email lists, until they say we're going to stop being a trade group for these people, forget them. They're not a partner. We don't need them. We don't need them at all. They can sit in whatever Wayne LaPierre can sit and count his money. Meanwhile, Megan McArdle, one of the intellectual leading lights on the right, had a piece in the Daily Beast the other day talking about, of course, how the left will try and leverage this for more gun control, blah, blah, blah. And how it's not sensible and blah, blah, blah.
It was also the other big takeaway was that these are really tragic events, but there's very little
we can do about these tragic events, Megan McArdle says. In fact, she writes, my guess is that we're going to get a law anyway. And my hope is it will consist of small measures that might have some tiny actual effect, like restrictions on magazine capacity. I'd also like us to encourage people to gang rush shooters rather than following their instinct to hide. If we drilled it into young people that the correct thing to do is for everyone to instantly run at the guy with the gun, these sort of mass shootings would be less deadly, because even a guy with a very powerful weapon can be brought down by 8 to 12 unarmed bodies piling on him at once. Would it work? Would people do it? I have no idea. All I can say is that both these things would be more effective than banning rifles with pistol grips. Let me make it clear that A, I was not joking when I read that quote, that B, I was quoting from her piece directly, that C, it would involve drilling into young people that your instinct to run from the guy shooting is wrong. Don't run and hide. We're going to drill this into you. I would imagine, I'm no psychiatrist, nor any type of professional brainwasher. But I would imagine it would take quite a bit to drill this into people's heads so that their instant reaction is to attack the guy shooting the gun, not run away. I mean, just think of how hard it would be to teach them to serpentine. Would it work? I have no idea, she says. But I guess it's worth an experiment as long as you're not one of those people, those young people. I don't know how she knows that a guy with a very powerful weapon can be brought down by 8 to 12 unarmed bodies piling on him at once, or how it's supposed to be that these people are all going to coordinate. There's the guy with the gun. Blue dog! Blue dog! And then everybody assembles to jump on him. Now, To be fair, for those of you who are thinking, how could we drill it into young 6 and 7-year-olds to pile on this guy with a gun? To be fair to Megan McArdle, the next day, she did write in her defense, as people reacted with the absolute shock and scorn that should be commensurate for someone who gets paid to write these opinions. And I would say that, frankly, you could probably get some type of software program to come up with something that is less ridiculous as an opinion. Just put in horrible, tragic mass shooting, another one. You'd put in don't want gun control, come up with ideas would probably be the 3 inputs you'd have to come in. And I'm sure there may be even a program that exists already that could pump something out with more reason than this. But to be fair, let me read the subsequent defense of those comments she wrote the next day. I completely agree that small children rushing a shooter would be a terrible idea. I can see how, taken out of context, if maybe you hadn't read the whole article, young people could be read to refer to the Newtown school shooting. Now, all I did was just read that out of context. She's right. So maybe she's got a very reasonable point, but let me continue. But I was talking about teenagers, not first graders. So, yes, it would be ludicrous, according to Megan McArdle, to suggest that first graders bum rush a person with a high-capacity semi-automatic weapon. But if you're 15 or 16, it makes a lot more sense. Think about it, teenagers. Now, yes, 1 or 2 of the first people going in might get brought down. But the rest of you would be heroes. So, Megan McArdle, let's roll! Unbelievable.
Old enough to play football.
That's right. If you can tackle a quarterback,